Fantasy is going to move out here, and there isn't any sort of contain, so Fantasy is moving out on the map. I would not be surprised if he made some vultures. There's a vulture. Oh, a trapped vulture and a trapped SCV. That's a shame. I was about to say I wouldn't be surprised if he makes some vultures and gets some mine laying going on, which we'll probably see fairly quickly here. Fantasy, very, very strong push on the map here. Kind of making Zero look a little bit silly. I wish we had a count on the units here. But Zero just doing the standard thing, moving away lurkers, then burrowing, moving them away to try to keep Fantasy away as much as possible. Not a lot going on, though, at that left-hand base. So I'm hoping Zero can defend that if Fantasy does know it's there. I'm not sure if Fantasy has scanned it yet, but Fantasy would have to assume at this point that there is another base somewhere. Zero smartly sending a single Zergling ahead to get a scout. And there's the expansion going up for Fantasy. So, again, both players playing well. There's the Defiler Mound already up and ready to go in the 11th minute of the game. So, definitely getting the tech out quick for both players. Obviously, Zero has some very good Defiler play, so I'm looking forward to seeing something from there. I'm wondering if we're going to see a dropship come out from Fantasy to try to do a Marine drop, possibly on like the left base or something like that. And there are the mines, as I mentioned earlier. Mines are out and ready to go, trying to get a little mine dragger just scouting there from Zero. Mines are out and ready to go. Zero's going to have to start bringing Overlords on the field. He's going to need to research the Overlords' speed to get them so that they're actually applicable to the battle here. A decent-sized force, but even a force like that will crumble without any sort of swarm or anything like that if they try to attack all those siege tanks. And Vultures coming in. Vultures spotting both expansions here, the new one going up and the old one. Nice placement of Sunken Colonies, though. Sunken Colonies able to take out actually, wow, almost all of the Vultures. So great job there, losing all the Vultures. No Vulture Harass going to come down by Fantasy. Great preemptive defense there by Zero. I've actually considered learning Korean, and it's something that I've thought of. Good job using lings to, oh, didn't blow up that mine. Using lings to take the mines out. I thought of learning Korean, and I realized if I learn Korean, there's no way I'm going to be able to do VODs, because how am I going to do an English commentary if I totally understand everything that's going on in the back? I just don't think it would work very well. All right, an attack going in here. Great swarm, trying to get a few kills. Wow, a mine taking out a lot of lings. Zerg Defiler getting irradiated, able to get one more off. I think that was more of just kind of a tester attack, if anything else, just to get some preemptive. Great job, Zero making that ling actually destroying the mine. Zero making a great use of lings here to demine the battlefield here, to mine sweep, so to speak, not demine. Oh, wow, and a great job slipping in through here. I forgot about that little gap that you can squeeze the Vultures through. We actually have some KY Vultures here slipping through the gap and able to do some damage. And, wow, that actually did, well, okay, it at least stopped Zero from mining for quite some time, so he's going to have to micro up and bring them back, using lurkers to take out mines now. Zero is slowly moving forward, but he's hitting a Terran wall. You can see that both players are really divided on the map. You have red on the bottom, green on the top. Wow, and again, Fantasy doing what he does, which is testing the micro of the player with constant Vulture Harass. Wow, and random Mutalisks. I'm not sure if those Mutalisks were... I'm almost wondering if those Mutalisks were like, had a waypoint set there or something. That's very weird. All right, well, 3 Mutalisks not doing a whole lot. Just 3 Mutalisks takes a while, as you can see here. They are going to get some kills, though, which isn't bad, just not a whole lot of kills. Meanwhile, while Fantasy is trying to micro out on the field, so getting a couple kills there. More lurkers going down, more tanks going up. I am getting worried here for Zero. Oh, and Zero can try to take out, and managing to just hit one science vessel, and actually poor micro kind of by both players there. Actually, a good swarm coming in. Zero's going to be able to take out these tanks here coming up, and a good play there, and it looks like the Mutalisks getting taken out on the left side base there. Right now, Fantasy is at 1, 2, 3, 4 bases. Zero still, I believe, at just 4 full bases, maybe a 5th. Oh, a nice sunken block. Wow. Jeez. Zero had a nice sunken block there to block from a vulture harass, so that was actually a really brilliant move by Zero. Those lurkers are going to go down. Zerglings is fast enough to where they can actually take out the mines, which is not bad there. Again, I think Zero needs to make a push. Oh my god, that's a lot of Scourge. Scourge in the way. They have been spotted, and it looks like Zero is going to try to push into the side base over here. Are the Scourge going to be able to get? No, there's too much Medic Marines there. Scourge are not going to be able to get in. Zero, I don't feel like there's a lot of units on the field for Zero, so hopefully he's going to start macroing up fairly quickly here. There's the Ultralisk Cavern. That's why we don't see a lot of units on the field, because he has been saving up for Ultralisk, which he is going to get, which hopefully will work here. We've certainly seen games where Ultralisks are just not enough to counter. So, oh, taking out every single science vessel! Zero, beautiful attack. Fantasy not paying attention. Zero able to take out all the science vessels. That is definitely going to give him an advantage here, even though Zero, oh wow. Even though Fantasy is going to put more, and there are the ramps I'm talking about. That's what I was mentioning about earlier in this game. The downward ramps are just terrible if you're not a Terran, taking off the Nidus Canal as well. So Zero's going to have to find a way to make it, oh, barely slipping some units through. Is he going to make it past? He catches these tanks when they're not sieged. Actually, really well done there. But not getting up high enough. Oh, and a beautiful plague going off there. And is he going to be able to get? No, he's not going to be able to get a swarm up on those tanks. And this is where it gets dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. When you are a Zerg, Zero is got to be a little worried right now. He certainly has other hatcheries out on the field, and he can bring units from. But Fantasy is just playing impeccably. Absolutely impeccably right now. Other than losing those science vessels, he's playing almost a perfect game here. And as much as I'm a big fan of Zero, Fantasy is just playing very, very well. Got mines all over the right side. Oh, and going in, and no, Fantasy is, no, he's not going to be able to get his science vessel out of the way. He's losing another science vessel. And the same way, if you, oh, and a huge amount, the Nidus Canal is still up. Huge amount of Zerglings coming in. We got a swarm going down. Zerglings are going to be able to clean this up and mine drag a little bit as well. No, too many mines, but Zerglings are able to get up there underneath the swarm and drag some mines into the tank. Beautiful mine drags by Zero. Should probably get some water. I think there's only one starport still pumping science vessels. That would explain why there's not enough science vessels out on the field for Fantasy. Oh! Vulture's slipping by there, and they're going to see the Ultralisk. Mine's doing nothing. Vulture's getting owned. And but wow, I didn't realize that Fantasy was able to shell on that main there. We need to see a Dark Swarm go up. These Vultures have to do something. Fantasy's bringing more and more reinforcements here. Zero is about to get trapped in his base here. There goes the Swarm, but Ultralisk still getting hammered and hammered by the splash damage. A lot of Scourge sitting there with nothing to do because there's not enough science vessels. Zero is in very much trouble here. This game might be over in just a few minutes. I mean, Fantasy is just absolutely sieging down, and he is rolling deep, man. Fantasy's posse is rolling deep with these tanks, with these Master Sergeants. That tank up front, I think, has 8 kills already. Scourge have been able to take out the science vessels, but it might not be enough. Zero is going to lose his natural expansion here any second. And I have not seen any sort of counterattack. I've not seen any sort of drop. Okay, we might have a drop coming right now. Oh no, the Overlord gets killed before. Oh no, dropping the Zerglings one at a time. Piecemeal Zerglings getting killed and a couple more going in. That was a pointless drop by Zero. You might even lose those Overlords. Oh, and then the Swarm comes up. Okay, so getting a little bit more damage because the Swarm comes up, but it was a little bit too late there, and mine's going to go down and clean that up as well. So Zero attempting a couple harassments here, like last-ditch efforts with Zerglings. If these can be successful, he might have a chance, but he still has the mighty Prince Terran here at his doorstep. The secondary is completely down, the natural expansion. Just a few Zerglings on the left side base. They're doing a little bit of damage, but not that much. Man, another drop coming in. This is a drop in the main. He dropped the Defiler first this time. Oh, wow. Fantastic. Fantasy completely ready with Goliath, completely obliterating the majority of that drop except for the Defiler and the 2 Ultralisks. More Ultralisks coming around as well. This left side base is possibly going to get taken out because there are no tanks defending it, which I'm actually surprised at by Fantasy. Fantasy is so camped out towards the bottom of the map outside Zero's base, he doesn't really have enough defense inside of his regular bases right now. So wow, a big drop with swarms. Oh, actually no, I think it's those same Excuse me. I got something down the wrong tube there. Yeah, that's sexy. That's what you guys want to hear. That's what happens when you're constantly drinking water and trying to shout things at StarCraft while you're doing it. So a big drop in the main. The Ultralisk was able to clean up that force and still doing a lot of damage on that left-hand base, able to take out quite a few SCVs. 15 kills for that Ultralisk so far. And that's actually exactly what Zero needed to do. Zero getting camped outside his right expansions now. Those Ultralisks are still running free in Fantasy's base. Fantasy did not have enough defenses. Fantasy scanning to see if he's going to attack here. The problem is Zero just, I don't feel like, has enough units right now either to break out.